One of the great things about Brickworld is that you never go home empty-handed. That was definitely the case for Audrey and I when we attended 2022's show, and so I'm just going to show you some of the highlights of the things we got. Audrey put this out on my table, which I thought was quite funny, with the note saying Audrey Flex. Audrey brought a dress made out of Lego to the show, which is something that has never quite been seen in the world of Lego before. Her work had many, many admirers, and throughout the course of the convention, more and more little trinkets would show up at the base of her mannequin stand. There was no build in the room that had more trophies than Audrey, and so these are all the things that she collected. She didn't get nominated for an official award, which is a thing. She definitely should have, but I think her many fans show that it was probably still one of the most popular builds in the room. If you saw the other Brickworld video, you know what some of these are. The clock tower was nominated for Best Medieval Building, which is great. Took home first for the third time in Dirty Buildster. Dirty Buildster, again, is just probably one of the most underrated competitions at the show. Best Small Building, Septa Baylor won Best Small Building, which is just very, very satisfying. That's the one I was hoping for, to be totally honest. And Best Group Layout for Eurobricks. Went home with the trophy for that too, so that was really cool. Speaking of Eurobricks, the Eurobricks gang gifted me this Eurobricks Master Award, which is so cool. So Marie and Philip, who are part of Eurobricks, also got one of these, and Jacob even got one as well, which was really pretty cool. So that's a very, very fun trophy. This thing is the Gujic. Every year, Brickworld's most prestigious award is the Brickworld Master. Only one person gets it per year, and you get it once in your lifetime. Tradition has it that once you win this award, the following year, you go around everyone's display and leave a tiny little token, something that represents you as a builder. So this is Amanda Fuchs' build here, and I hope I can dig up the picture, but a few years ago she did some shadow art at a much larger scale, but she's replicated it here to create a dragon, which is absolutely mind-boggling that she was able to do something like this at this small scale. So she made something like 500 plus of these, she said, and went around Saturday night putting them all over the displays, which is really cool. So Audrey has one here as well. That's just good stuff. This is from Atlanta Brick Co. I had watched a video of theirs some time back where they talked about finding a shipping crate just full of these light and sound stingers from the Insectoids theme, and so they brought a bucket of them and were selling them for $5, and they're essentially brand new. I haven't put batteries in this one, or a single battery in this one yet to test it, but I'm sure it works fine. But yeah, I had to pick one of these up. I think it's really funny. $5 was probably the cheapest thing at Brickworld, so I'll take it. 2 Eurobricks bricks. One is just generic Eurobricks with the colors, and the other ones is for the Oasis layout. And on the back it says 2019 to 2022, because that's how long it took that layout to actually come together and be displayed, which is great stuff. And then probably the most special bricks here. These are gifts from Simon that say Castle Bro. It's got the Cheesy Studios logo on the shield and everything. And not only that, he made one for Audrey that says Castle Sis. That's just fun stuff. And I have a great picture of Mark, Jacob, and I. Don't worry, Mark and Steven got Castle Bro ones as well, but that was super special. This we'll be looking at closer later on. But there was a presentation on Modulix, which is something that I was mostly unfamiliar with. I just had run into it on Bricklink stores before, and I was so moved by the presentation that I went and picked up a handful of just random bricks. So I'm looking forward to looking at these a little closer in another video, so I won't dwell on it too much. But it's really cool to actually own some of these. This is funny. This is a funny story. So I was at Brickfest in Colorado Springs, and Moto wanted to send me this. It's a dusting gel. Basically, you squish it onto things and it takes up the dust with it. Did not pass airport security. And so, bless his heart, Corey Sands said, "Don't worry, I got you. I'll put this in my checked bag," and ran back through security to get this back in his bag. And he said, "I'm gonna get this to you one day." And he showed up at Brickworld Chicago and gave it to me. So thank you to Moto and Corey for finally getting my gel. I was able to use it at the show on my builds that have been together for years that needed a proper dusting before display. So that's very special to me. So at conventions like Brickworld, it's not uncommon for vendors to just bring a bunch of bulk parts and sell them by the cup. You fill up the cup for a set amount of money. However, there tends to be a lot of hidden gems in there, so Audrey and I spend a lot of time digging through these bins. I don't think that was in the bin. But all this was. But before we get to the highlights of that, at least, pulled a bunch of basic brick for some Minecraft stuff as well. So there were 3 different vendors who had stuff. One of them, of course, was Derek from Pop's Block Shop. So it was a great way to pick up a bunch of 2x2 tiles and jumpers. That's what all this is. And this is just various dark red parts for future nether modules, since I used all of my existing parts up. The highest price to fill up a container was $10 per container. But as you'll see here, some of those parts, really offset that cost. So this is a Rohan Soldier shield. Goes for $6 used on Bricklink, and we found that in the bins. Don't worry, Derek, I don't think it was yours. But somebody else had this in there. So that's really cool. This is something I'll actually use because I love Lord of the Rings. But there's just some other fascinating things here. Like an AT-AT joint. I believe this is worth $7 used. And it's just a cool thing. I gotta figure out exactly what this one is from. That's a print. Very cool. I won't go through all of this because we'll be here all day, but there's definitely some highlights. So for instance, I use a lot of minifigure stands from my own custom minifigure stands, and these were all over the place across all 3 vendors. They're expensive on Bricklink, they're expensive at Lego Pick-a-Brick, but still, nobody wants them. Everyone just wants the minifigures, so of course they ended up in these bins, and we took a ton. Usually they try to pull all the minifigures, but this guy must have gotten through the cracks from Space Police 3, so that was a very fun find. We tried to hit all these as early as possible because, I mean, we're in a room full of Lego fans. They're gonna pull the good stuff. This white boulder apparently just came in one World Racer set that was in there. It's not worth a lot, but I mean, it's rare, and I'm all for rare stuff. You'll see a lot of dark orange in here, of course. A whole blaze was a special treat for me. Look at all these wonderful leaf pieces. All right, Derek, I think I did find this one in yours. Well, if I see you again and you need it, I'll happily give it back. You could probably put it to better use than I could, but that was a funny find. Atlantis key. Not particularly valuable, but a very cool piece. Audrey found this cloth piece from Maz's castle, I believe. That's a great one. Reusable for all sorts of stuff. No wings, but we did find one of the eagles, which is funny because I don't have either set that came with the eagle. I've never been willing to shell out the money to get one either, but 2 wings might be more affordable than the whole eagle. But, I mean, like, again, another piece I never had, you know, old Belleville sink. This is worth quite a bit. I have used it in mocks in the past. In fact, it's on a mock right now, and I need it to rebuild something from Power Manners. But yeah, I mostly look for stuff that's useful to me. That was definitely a highlight of the show, just digging through bins, finding weird stuff like this. Alright, now the actual minifigure selection here. So this is just a bunch of minifigures that were either traded for or purchased. Audrey bought Ahsoka here, a variant she didn't have. I think the price was pretty reasonable on it. I did some trading at Pop's Block Shop with Derek for another Achu. He looks great. So I want to sell my Aztec Ancient Ruins at some point, but I'm not ready to part with my Achu figure yet, so that just worked out perfectly. I traded him a number of Star Wars figures. So hopefully he managed to sell them at the show. The rest, all of this was traded for a Grand Inquisitor that I had. So I got 6 Fantasy Era Trolls, 6 Insectoids figures, 3 Alien Conquest aliens, the Roman Soldier, Alpha Team Minion from Mission Deep Sea, and then this Galaxy Squad bug, which I had never seen before, so that was really cool. So all of this for the Grand Inquisitor, which for me, I had no interest in keeping the Grand Inquisitor. I found it on Facebook Marketplace for $1, and this guy was like, I want that, have all these things. I'm like, awesome. This is a good deal for both of us. And my brother went to the Lego store with some of the other Lego Masters and found 2x2 white tiles at the Pick-a-Brick wall. So he filled up a small container of those for $10 for me. And he claims that Dave Coletta put in a bunch of tires. So, I don't know. Not too many tires. There's like 5 tires just to annoy me. Thanks, guys. But this is great. I paid $20 for probably half this amount on Lego Pick-a-Brick not that long ago, which is kind of painful. But I actually started designing a snowy village, so I'm going to put these to use. So that's exciting, very, very exciting. I wanted to go home with like a sealed vintage kit or something, but the prices were outrageous because the public is willing to pay them, and so I understand. But would have been great to have come home with a vintage sealed kit like I did at Brickworld Milwaukee. But that's okay. I'm very happy with everything I have here. It's going to keep me entertained for quite some time. But yeah, that's all I've got. Thanks for watching. Have a great life. I'll see you next time.